Hello, everybody. David Howell with John Knox Presbyterian Church. During this strange and weird season that we're all living in, I think if you're like me at times, a lot of us can become frozen in our tracks. We're dealing with things we've never faced before. Most of us have not gone through a pandemic. We look back to SARS and other things that have come across the world over the last several years, but nothing to the extent of COVID-19. So, whatever we're doing in life right now, it seems like we're frozen. If you were looking for a job, this is a very difficult time to find a new position. If you were starting a new task in life, whether it's something simple like learning to play the guitar, for instance, this is a hard time to move forward on something and find somebody that you can sit down with and learn a new skill. If you're doing something big in your life, if it was a time to make a big decision about education or relationships, very difficult time. We feel frozen. We don't know if we should just sit back and wait until things get better, and then we can get about our daily living. This reminds me of the story in First Chronicles when David was telling Solomon the plans for building the great temple for God in Jerusalem. Solomon had never done anything like this before. He was the son, so David was the wise father, Solomon the son, and he had never faced such a challenge before. And in this time, he could have become frozen in his tracks as well. He could have said, God, I don't have what it takes. God, I don't know the plan. God, I don't have the skill sets or the wisdom. But David assures him that God's going to give him all that he needs. David's going to provide a lot of the materials for him before he dies and give him, like I say, the outline of how to do this from God. And then later on, God gives Solomon the wisdom and the peace all around him so that he can complete this great task. I want to read to you today from First Chronicles, and we're going to actually read from chapter 28, beginning with verse 20. David said further to his son Solomon, Be strong and of good courage and act. Do not be afraid or dismayed, for the Lord God, my God, is with you. He will not fail you or forsake you until all the work for the service of the house of the Lord is finished. Even in church right now, a lot of us think, oh no, we're frozen. We don't know how to move forward as a church. We want to be safe and make sure that we don't bring people back too quickly, but we're frightened to move forward in doing that. And we're frightened to continue on with the work of the church. And I want to encourage you that if we trust in God, if we look to Him and lean into Him and trust in His Spirit to guide and direct us, He will show us how to do the work that's before us. No matter what stumbling block is out there, whether if we feel like we're inexperienced, if we feel like that it's just difficult days and we have too much going on, if we trust in God and yield to His will, He will give us all we need to finish that great task before us. We live in the world of COVID now, but that doesn't mean that the work for the house of the Lord should not continue. It doesn't mean that we should be scared in our tracks. We should be cautious. We should be safe. But we should trust in God and seek His strength and His will as we move forward in His great name. The peace be with you, and let's go out there and do the work of the Lord today. God bless.